Most people think being prepared is simple. Grab any knife, toss it in a bag, and assume that's good enough. But it's usually one mistake you don't realize until it's too late. In a stressful situation, things don't go according to plan. Cheap blades bend, weak grips fail, and tools you trusted suddenly become useless. And for those moments, real military tactical knives are essential. Whether it's handling tactical tasks or giving you a reliable option for self-defense, the right blade gives you that kind of confidence. So, in this video, we'll show you 25 incredible military tactical knives that work well for survival and self-defense. Updated price and purchase links are down in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's begin. If you're looking for a knife that feels old school but performs in a very modern way, the Tops Modern Gladius is a really interesting piece. This one was designed with the team at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and it's clearly built to be tough. The blade is 6.5 inches long and made from 1095 carbon steel, with a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58, which means it can take hard use, deal with heavy cutting pressure, and still avoid snapping or chipping easily. Plus, the double-edged Tanto-style blade is what really sets it apart. You get two identical cutting edges, which is useful when you need control from different angles. And the blade thickness, at 0.19 inches, gives it serious strength, especially when batoning wood for kindling or basic shelter tasks. The tan canvas micarta handle feels secure in the hand. Even when wet or sweaty, it keeps its grip, and the slight taper toward the guard helps your hand stay locked in during harder cuts. At 8.3 ounces, it feels balanced and not overly tiring. Its fully extended tang adds durability, and the black traction coating cuts glare and helps with corrosion. You also get a Kydex sheath with a dangler for easy access. Overall, this Gladius survives tactical situations through pure brute force and cutting power. Next, we've got the Special Ops M9 from Smith & Wesson. It looks like one of those knives that feels like it came straight out of military history, and that's because it did. It was originally designed as a bayonet for rifles, but over time it became a well-known survival and utility knife. The blade measures 7.8 inches and is made from 420J2 stainless steel. This steel choice makes sense for field use because it resists rust and doesn't demand constant maintenance, even if it doesn't hold an edge as long as carbon steel. One of the standout features is the notched spine and the deep grooves on both sides of the blade. These grooves help reduce weight while also strengthening the blade so it doesn't flex too much under pressure. Along the spine, you also get saw teeth, which come in handy for cutting rope, small branches, or rough materials. The thermoplastic rubber handle is textured and easy to hold, and with an overall length of 12.8 inches and a large guard, it feels controlled in hand. Plus, the sheath is packed with extras, including a storage pouch, a sharpening stone, and multiple carry options. In a tactical situation, the M9 functions as a robust secondary weapon with serious cutting capability, though it's better suited for utility and camp tasks. Now, if fast deployment is what matters most to you, the SOG Pentagon OTF is built exactly for that kind of performance. This is an automatic out-the-front knife that feels very engineered and intentional. The blade is 3.79 inches long and made from CPMS 35VN stainless steel, which is widely known for its balance of strength, edge retention, and corrosion resistance. Plus, its double-edged dagger-style blade gives you cutting ability from multiple angles, and the lockup is solid with no noticeable blade play. Everything feels tight and secure when it's deployed. The handle is made from aluminum with a hard-coat anodized finish that meets military specifications, so it feels tough and durable. Textured jimping helps keep your grip stable, and the thumb slide requires deliberate pressure, which reduces the chance of accidental deployment in your pocket. A tip-down pocket clip makes it easy to carry day to day, and the design works well for both left and right-handed users. It's also made in the United States, which many professionals appreciate. The biggest downside is the price, sitting around $350. Still, its quick action and strong lockup are what make it worth buying. After talking about a premium, high-speed automatic like the SOG, here this AtomicBear SWAT immediately makes sense. This knife is all about simple, usable performance at a budget-friendly price. The blade is made from 420B stainless steel, which is easy to maintain and resists rust well, especially if you're carrying it daily. It uses a liner lock system, so once the blade is open, it stays safely in place during cutting. The G10 handle, reinforced with glass-filled nylon, keeps the knife lightweight but still tough, and it feels secure without being bulky. Also, its blade shape is very practical, working well for slicing, piercing, and even light sawing tasks. One thing that helps a lot with control is the serrated thumb rest, which gives your thumb a solid place to press when you need precision. Thumb studs make one-handed opening quick and easy, which matters when you're using it as an everyday carry blade. The belt clip sits high in the pocket, so it carries comfortably without sticking out too much. The main downside is the softer steel. It sharpens easily, but you'll need to touch it up more often than premium blades. Overall, this knife works great as a lightweight backup or primary everyday carry option when you want capability without extra weight. If folding knives feel limiting and you want something with more presence and strength, the Kershaw Atrades steps in as a solid fixed blade option. This knife is built for people who want one tool that can handle tactical use, outdoor work, and campsite tasks without feeling fragile. The blade is 5.7 inches long and made from 65 Mn steel, finished with a black powder coat that helps with durability and wear resistance. The Tanto blade shape gives it a strong tip and makes it effective for harder cutting and chopping jobs. With a blade thickness of 0.18 inches and a saber grind, it feels sturdy. Plus, the jimping along the spine adds extra control for more detailed cuts. The handle is also 5.7 inches long and has a rubber overmold, which gives it a secure, comfortable grip. Interestingly, the handle can be removed, revealing a skeletonized frame that keeps the knife balanced. It weighs a bit over 8 ounces, so it feels solid without being overly heavy. The sheath offers molded retention, reversible carry for left or right-handed users. Though it's manufactured in China, quality control is handled in the United States, and it shows as it fits well as a crossover knife for tactical, bushcraft, and camping use. When cutting through thick rope, webbing, or stubborn synthetic materials is slowing everything down, a knife that can bite fast instead of skating across the surface becomes a real advantage. That is exactly the role the CRKT-1614SF fills, and it feels purpose-built for those moments when hesitation is not an option. Designed by Kit Carson, this knife relies heavily on its triple-point serrations, which are made to chew into fibrous materials that a plain edge would struggle to grab. Instead of forcing the cut, the blade naturally pulls itself through tough material with far less effort. The overall feel of the knife lines up well with the kind of cutting tasks soldiers often deal with during patrols or fast-moving operations, where you want a clean cut without fighting the blade or resetting your grip. The automated liner safety adds confidence here, keeping the lock engaged even if your hand position shifts or you are wearing gloves and dealing with sweat. The AUS-8 steel blade, finished with titanium nitride, holds up well in field conditions and resists wear from the elements while staying smooth through repeated cuts. Even though the knife stretches past 9 inches overall, the aluminum handle keeps the weight down, so it rides comfortably in the pocket day after day without feeling flimsy. It is not meant for prying or abusive tasks, but for slicing, cutting, and quick deployment under pressure, the M1614SF fits naturally into a tactical setup and does its job. Now, the next problem is needing something that simply will not fold or flex. That's where stepping into a fixed blade like the ColdSteel-Leatherneck SF makes sense. This knife is built for situations where reliability matters more than convenience, and where you want a blade that feels solid, no matter how rough the environment becomes. The hand-honed, saber-ground clip-point blade is made from German D2 steel, giving it the toughness needed for demanding military-style tasks, whether that is field prep or emergency prying when there are no better options. Its non-reflective black powder coat helps keep glare to a minimum, which is useful when shine is something you would rather avoid altogether. One of the standout features is the double quillen guard, which does a great job of keeping your hand locked in place. The deeply checkered Grivex handle wraps securely around the full tang, offering solid control even under stress. At the rear, the machined steel butt cap adds real utility, working as a hammering surface instead of just being decorative. With nearly 12 inches of overall length and a 6 3/4-inch blade, it feels like a true combat knife rather than a casual utility tool. Paired with its secure X sheath, it carries steadily and stays ready when needed. After carrying a large fixed blade like the Leatherneck, there are times when you want to scale back to something more compact without giving up toughness or reliability. That shift is where the ZT0357 Blackwash comes into the picture, offering a hard-working folder that feels ready for everyday tactical use while staying easy to carry. It strikes a balance between size and strength. The 3 1/4-inch S45VN blade gives you enough edge for serious work without making the knife bulky or awkward in the pocket. The steel choice is a big part of why this knife earns respect, as it holds an edge through extended cutting sessions involving cardboard, rope, or fabric, while also resisting corrosion in wet conditions. The Blackwash finish plays a quiet role too, helping small scratches blend in, so the knife keeps its worn-in look instead of showing every mark. The assisted opening system is quick and consistent, and the flipper remains easy to use even when gloves are involved. The liner lock feels solid overall, though like many liner locks, it can be a bit tight when new and smooths out with use. The G10 handles provide reliable grip without being overly aggressive, which helps during longer cutting sessions. Weighing just over 4 ounces, it carries comfortably whether clipped to gear or riding in a pocket. When compact folders are no longer enough and you know the work ahead will be rough, that is the space the Stra Knives TU2 occupies, feeling like a tool you grab when things are about to get demanding and unpredictable. Handmade in North Carolina, the TU2 uses 1095 high-carbon steel, a practical choice for a tactical survival-style knife. This steel sharpens easily in the field and delivers strong bite during cutting, though it does require attention to rust when working in wet or salty environments. The 4-inch blade measures 0.18 inches thick, giving it a confident, sturdy feel during use. With an overall length of 8.5 inches, it offers solid leverage while remaining easy to control. The handle runs long with a slimmer profile, which works especially well for larger hands by providing full control without feeling cramped. A finger hook near the handle adds speed during deployment, making it easy to pull free from the Kydex sheath in fast or messy situations. Combined with the BladeTech lock belt clip, carrying the knife stays simple and secure. It leans more toward rough utility than fine slicing, which is exactly why it performs well in chaotic environments. Next, we've got the Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops, offering an affordable option that covers simple cutting needs and adds a few practical extras. It looks tactical at first glance and delivers enough function for everyday tasks. The 3.1-inch clip point blade is made from 7CR17 MOV high-carbon stainless steel and comes partially serrated, giving you both clean slicing and extra bite for straps or webbing. A black oxide finish keeps the appearance low-key, which helps in situations where reflection is not ideal. The aluminum handle keeps overall weight down, making the knife easy to carry without feeling like a burden over time. The opening system is where the experience becomes mixed. While having both a flipper and thumb studs sounds useful, real-world use can feel a bit awkward, especially with cold or wet hands. Some users note that it does not always open quickly or lock up confidently. Still, once open, the liner lock holds reasonably well for lighter tasks, and the built-in strap cutter adds extra utility. It is not meant for hard-duty use, but for basic cutting, cord slicing, and backup carry, it serves a small but practical role. When you want one compact knife that can change roles without needing to switch tools, the Civivi-Typhoeus is built exactly for that situation. It's designed to work as a short fixed blade for daily carry, but it can also extend into a 3-inch push dagger when you need extra reach. That dual-purpose design is what makes it stand out right away. The blade is made from 14C28N steel, paired with a flat grind and a black stonewash finish, which helps it handle regular use without showing wear too quickly. With a hardness rating of 57 to 59 HRC, it's hard enough to hold an edge well while still being easy to maintain. The G10 handle feels solid and secure in the hand, giving you confidence during everyday cutting tasks. Weighing just under 3 ounces, it stays light enough to carry all day without becoming a burden. It's clearly not meant for heavy chopping or batoning, but it performs perfectly for slicing rope, opening packages, and handling finer outdoor tasks. Some users do wish it had a locking mechanism to keep the blade in one configuration, since the handle can slide back into knife mode when used as a push dagger, which can feel a bit unsafe. Even with that concern, most people appreciate the clever design and solid build quality. Overall, the Typhoeus is one of those knives that simply works when you need adaptability in a survival-style situation. If the previous knife was about flexibility, the Zero Tolerance 0512 shifts the focus to raw strength and hard-use reliability for demanding work. This folder is built to take punishment, and its CPM crewwear blade plays a big role in that. The steel is known for toughness, long edge life, and being relatively easy to sharpen back to a razor edge after heavy use. Adding to its durability is the dark bronze Cerakote finish, which isn't just cosmetic. It provides extra protection against scratches and corrosion, making it ideal for knives that see daily abuse. The handle design is a thoughtful mix of materials. Natural canvas micarta on the front gives a comfortable grip, while the dark bronze anodized titanium back keeps the knife lightweight without sacrificing strength. The balance feels good overall, although the micarta can become a little slippery when your hands are wet. One feature that really stands out is the low-profile push-button lock. It helps prevent accidental deployment, which adds peace of mind, especially in work environments where safety matters. At just over 4 ounces, the 0512 carries easily in the pocket but still feels substantial in hand. Altogether, it comes across as a tactical workhorse with the kind of USA-made quality zero tolerance is known for. After a heavy-duty folder, sometimes the situation calls for something simple, rugged, and no nonsense. And that's exactly where the CRKT Sting fits in. This knife has a compact, dual-edged spear point design that focuses on straightforward performance. It's built from 1050 steel and finished with a black powder coat, giving it a tough, utilitarian feel that hides wear better than a shiny blade would. With an overall length just under 7 inches and a blade measuring 3.19 inches, it stays compact and easy to manage. The spear point shape offers balanced cutting and piercing capability, making it suitable for controlled tasks. One of its defining features is the dual cutting edges, which add confidence when using the knife. The carry system is also very practical. It includes a belt loop and ankle attachment, and it comes with a custom nylon-stitched sheath featuring a glass-reinforced nylon insert. There's also a clip that allows belt carry, or mounting, to a pack or boot, giving you multiple carry options depending on how you're dressed. The main downside is the steel choice. While 1050 is easy to sharpen and tough, it doesn't hold an edge as long as more modern stainless steels, so it requires a bit more frequent maintenance if used hard. Moving forward from fixed simplicity to modern tactical reliability, the SOG Pentagon XR brings a strong balance of strength, speed, and trustworthiness. It features a 3.6 6-inch black XHP stainless blade with a dagger-style grind, built to stay sharp while handling heavy use. The blade design is especially interesting. Most of the spine remains unsharpened, but the last quarter-inch near the tip is sharpened, allowing for effective piercing when needed. The G10 handle provides a secure grip, even in wet or slippery conditions, which is important for consistent control. Deployment is smooth and flexible, thanks to both thumb studs and a flipper tab, letting you choose what feels most natural. Once open, the XR lock holds the blade firmly in place, adding confidence during use. Weighing under 5 ounces, the Pentagon XR feels solid without becoming overly heavy, making it practical for everyday carry. The pocket clip supports tip-up carry and can be switched for right or left-hand use, which adds versatility. Many users stick with this knife because of its solid build, smooth action, and dependable performance, all backed by a lifetime warranty that reinforces trust in the design. After focusing on a single tactical folder, the Hogue SIG-SAUER K320 series opens things up by giving you choices right from the start. This lineup offers both manual and automatic versions, while keeping the same core performance features. Whether you choose the standard manual K320 or the automatic K320A, both carry a 3.5-inch CPM S30V blade designed for serious field use. At a glance, the manual and automatic versions look different. They use different handles, opening mechanisms, and subtle styling details, but underneath, they share the same foundation. The drop-point blade shape in CPM S30V provides a strong balance of sharpness, corrosion resistance, and durability. A black Cerakote finish helps reduce glare and adds protection, though it will naturally show wear with heavy abrasion over time. The gray polymer handle keeps the knife lightweight and comfortable, although it can feel a bit smooth when wet, so grip awareness matters. The flat grind and hand-honed edge allow for smooth, precise cutting. With an overall length of 8 inches and a weight just over 4 ounces, the K320 balances portability with utility. The blade thickness of 0.12 inches supports everyday and tactical tasks, even if it's not meant for heavy chopping or batoning. Being made in the USA, the K320 series delivers consistent quality for both everyday carry and operational use. When everyday tactical knives aren't enough and the situation demands something built for extreme conditions, the MKC Redacted steps in with a clear purpose. This knife is designed specifically for survival, evasion, resistance, and escape, and its construction reflects that mission. It features a drop-point blade just under 5 inches long with a high saber grind, offering strong tip durability while still slicing effectively. The full-tang construction and G10 handle give it a solid, balanced feel in the hand. Although it weighs under 8 ounces, it's noticeably heavier than most folders, reinforcing that it's a serious tool rather than a casual carry option. The blade is made from MagnaCut stainless steel, which combines excellent edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance, making it especially reliable in wet environments. A Cerakote finish adds another layer of durability, though heavy abrasion will eventually leave visible marks. With an overall length just over 10 inches, the Redacted has a strong presence suited for survival and tactical tasks. This is a knife that demands respect and intentional carry. Made in the USA, it's purpose-built for users who need consistent, mission-ready performance when the stakes are high. After covering a serious survival blade, it makes sense to transition to something more compact, refined, and everyday friendly. And that's where the Civivi Amarok fits perfectly. This knife focuses on practicality with a touch of style, making it appealing for daily carry and collectors alike. It uses a Nitro V stainless blade, a steel known for taking a fine edge and resisting rust. With a hardness of 59 to 61 HRC, the blade stays sharp through regular use while remaining durable. The overall length is just under 7 inches, keeping it compact and comfortable to carry. The blade itself measures a bit over 2 inches, clearly positioning it as a small utility blade rather than a heavy-duty work tool. Blade thickness sits at 0.12 inches, and the knife weighs around 4 ounces, giving it a solid feel without being bulky. The ergonomic aluminum handle fits well in the hand and makes everyday tasks comfortable. A finger ring adds security during use and also houses a glass breaker for emergency situations. While it won't replace a full-size survival knife, the Amarok shines as a refined everyday carry option, offering useful features wrapped in a stylish, easy-to-carry design. Next, we've got the SOG Seal Commander. Built squarely for real tactical use, it is meant for missions where equipment failure simply is not an option. Everything about it feels mission-focused, starting with the CPMS-35VN blade steel, which brings a strong balance of toughness, edge retention, and corrosion resistance. Combined with its 5.25-inch clip point blade, you get a knife that slices efficiently. One detail that stands out in actual use is the finger choil. It might seem like a small feature at first glance, but once you choke up on the blade, it makes a big difference. That added control gives you a more precise, confident feel, especially in situations where accuracy matters. The micarta handle continues that practical approach. It feels firm in the hand without being uncomfortable. More importantly, it stays secure when conditions are far from ideal. Whether your hands are wet, sweaty, or dirty, the grip does not feel slippery or uncertain, which is critical for military or survival use. The knife rides in a Kydex sheath that holds it securely while still allowing a smooth, reliable draw when needed. While the handle can feel slightly stiff when new, it breaks in over time and gradually molds to your hand. Being made in the USA only reinforces the confidence. Overall, this knife feels like a balanced, no-nonsense tactical companion built to work when it truly counts. If you move from traditional fixed-blade reliability into fast, modern deployment, the Microtech Ultratech Gen 3 shows how far OTF knives have evolved. This latest generation feels like the result of real-world feedback finally being refined into meaningful upgrades. The new torque screw construction is a good example. It makes maintenance easier and more practical, especially for people who actually use their knives instead of keeping them pristine. The handle, made from 6061 T6 aluminum, feels light in the hand but still solid and strong. What really separates this generation from earlier versions are the internal upgrades. The crud cutter, dual-fuel drivetrain, and zero blade play are not just marketing terms. Together, they make the action smoother, more responsive, and extremely solid once the blade is deployed. The M390 MK blade steel delivers the sharpness and edge retention that Microtech is known for, and the deployment speed has a crisp, authoritative feel that never feels weak or uncertain. Every deployment feels deliberate and confident. The built-in glass breaker adds another layer of utility for real emergency situations, making it more than just a cutting tool. That said, it is not the lightest OTF on the market, and it can feel a bit mechanical in the hand. However, that precise, engineered feel is part of its identity. After the high-tech precision of the Ultratech, shifting into something more grounded and battlefield-focused makes the CRKT Ramadi feel refreshingly practical. This knife does not try to impress with advanced mechanisms or flashy materials. Instead, it focuses on being dependable, tough, and easy to trust in rough conditions. Designed by retired Sergeant Major Darren William Sirois, the Ramadi feels like it was shaped by real experience rather than theory. The blade is made from SK5 carbon steel, which is known for its toughness and ability to hold a fine edge through hard use. It performs well under pressure, though it does ask for a bit of care. The G10 handle provides a secure grip that feels reliable without being overly aggressive. With an overall length of 8.5 inches and a blade just over 4 inches, it lands right in the middle ground. It is large enough for serious cutting tasks, but still compact enough to carry comfortably without feeling awkward. The plain edge keeps things simple and easy to maintain, which makes sense for a working knife meant to be used, not admired. It comes with a durable sheath that holds the knife securely, though it may feel stiff at first and soften up as it breaks in. Weighing just under 6 ounces, it has enough weight to feel solid without becoming a burden on your belt. Overall, the Ramadi does not aim to impress with looks. Instead, it earns trust through quiet reliability when conditions get rough. When the situation calls for something that can take outright abuse, the Demko 3V Free Rein is that grab it when things get bad. The Demko 3V Free Rein is a full-tang beast, forged from premium CPM 3V steel, trusted by military pros and serious survivalists alike. This isn't your weekend-in-the-woods blade. It's designed to take real punishment and keep working when everything else quits. Here, we really appreciate its sheath system. You can completely take it apart for cleaning, and that might sound like a small detail, but in muddy, bloody, or sandy environments, keeping your gear clean can be the difference between staying sharp and failing when you need it most. Then there's the handle, rubberized and injection molded with aggressive texturing. Basically, it locks into your hand whether you're in gloves, soaked in rain, or even dealing with less than ideal situations. The flat grind makes cutting efficient, while the drop point shape gives it real piercing power. People often say it feels balanced enough to become an extension of your arm, which explains why it's used for everything from splitting firewood to backing you up in combat. It's not flashy, it's just reliable. And that's exactly why so many professionals keep it close. If you want to go from a heavy survival tool to a slimmer, but still combat-ready folder, the Hinderer Firetack hits the mark. Rick Hinderer himself pulled from his own military background to shape this design. And you can tell it wasn't meant for desk drawers. It was made for the field. It has this slim, linear profile that feels natural in the hand without giving up strength. Here, inside, you get CPM20CV steel, which means the edge just hangs on and doesn't dull easily, even after hard use. Military operators love how it balances being lightweight but still being built like a tank. Plus, it has a blade that is slightly over 3.5 inches in length with an under 5-inch G10 scale in the handle. And people say it's comfortable in every grip you try, whether cutting rope or preparing for defense. The fact that this was Rick's first big folding design, so it carries real heritage. Okay, the locking system, which isn't about flashy looks. It's built purely for function, which is exactly why operators trust it. Stepping into true survival-tested territory, the Sniper Bladeworks Mamu has already proven itself in real outdoor challenges. It's the kind of knife that feels natural in your hand, even when you've been working with it for hours. And it was actually tested and proven on Discovery Channel's Man Woman Wild, not in a marketing office. The blade itself is made of 420HC stainless with a black PVD coat, so no shiny reflections and plenty of rust resistance in tough environments. But here's a neat twist. The G10 handle scales have a bow drill socket built in. When modern fire starting fails, you can go primitive and still get a fire going. That kind of detail shows it's more than a weapon, it's a survival tool. With around 5.5-inch blade and flat grind, it balances strength and efficiency for tasks from slicing rope to prepping food. The sheath is versatile too, letting you carry it in multiple ways. Soldiers and outdoorsmen like how it adapts to different setups. Overall, the Mamu is about rugged reliability and smart touches that make life easier when things get rough. If you feel like the last few knives kept things modest in size, the ColdSteel Recon 1 XL takes the opposite route. With a massive 5.5-inch CTS-X HP blade, it brings folder convenience with near-fixed blade power. This folding knife gives you serious cutting power wherever you go. And it's earned a spot among soldiers and law enforcement who want raw cutting power at hand. The lock is where it really shines. ColdSteel's Triad lock is widely regarded as one of the strongest around. So even with that big blade, you know it won't fold up on you mid-task. The steel holds its edge, shrugs off abuse, and tackles jobs that could ruin lesser knives. Well, its sheer size may make it overkill, but it bridges the gap between folder and fixed blade. You get portability and convenience, but also the confidence of a larger tool. The G10 handle grips tight in sweaty, muddy, or gloved hands. And talking about the weight, instead of being a downside, it actually helps the knife cut deeper with less effort. Plus, the dual thumb stud openers provide smooth, reliable performance every time. Users love that it's more than a big showpiece. It's a capable workhorse. In high-stress scenarios, that extra durability and power is exactly what you want. When you need something with bayonet-like authority, the Zero Tolerance 6 picks up where the Recon 1 XL leaves off. Inspired by the old ZT9 bayonet, it's been refined for modern survival and combat use. Right away, you'll notice the CPM3V steel, a tool steel known for resisting chips and holding toughness even in brutal conditions. Think of it as the modern evolution of a battle-ready bayonet, tuned up for today's survival and combat use. The Cerakote finish adds corrosion resistance without compromising performance, while the full tang with a steel guard makes it a tank of a knife. With a 6-inch blade, it strikes that sweet spot, not too long to handle, but big enough to chop, slice, and pierce effectively. The OD Green G10 handle isn't just for looks. It's textured and shaped to stay secure, whether your hands are slick, bloody, or gloved. Okay, the sheath deserves mention too. Kydex with a retention strap, built for rough carry without coming loose. At 10 3 ounces, it's not a featherweight, but that weight works in its favor, giving extra chopping force when needed. Military people appreciate how it handles real abuse, from survival tasks to direct field work. At its core, the 6 is a survival-first knife that doesn't quit, making it the blade you reach for when the odds are stacked against you. So that was our video on the 25 incredible military tactical knives for survival and self-defense. Let us know your favorite pick in the comments section, as we'd love to hear from you. And as for everything else, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.